A local Harley-Davidson technician has a vintage bike up and running. The Topeka Historic Harley-Davidson shop is attached to the Evel Knievel Museum and is one of the dealerships in the country that works on bikes more than 10 years old. 27 News reporter Caroline Soro joins us live from the shop in central Topeka. Caroline, you spoke to the technician today to tell us about this bike.
Hey Jake, well this particular bike is far beyond that 10-year window. It's a 1916 Civilian J model, so calling it vintage is pretty fitting. The technician I talked to earlier today told me he's a pro when it comes to restoring antique bikes, and after working on this one for months, he finally has it up and running.
There it goes.
Back in December, a customer from western Kansas trusted Dave with the oldest bike he's worked on in his 30-year career.
Asked me if I could get the old bike running for him, and came in as a rolling chassis with a motor in it, and the motor had to be taken apart and gone through, and of course he wanted to leave it looking old.
So it's a good thing this family-owned shop specializes in restoring vintage bikes.
If it says Harley-Davidson on it, we should be working on it. So we get jobs for people all over the country. They bring their vintage motorcycles here, and we've, over the last 20 years, developed ourselves as being the premier Harley-Davidson dealership that works on vintage motorcycles.
He says it's an honor to work on bikes like this. From studying its history to hunting down the right parts, Dave loved every minute of assembling the 107-year-old puzzle.
There's a little bit more going on these older motorcycles. I got to turn the gas on. This one's got a magneto.
He says it rides very differently than a modern bike, but that's all part of the fun.
You sit straight up, the handlebars come way back, and you're just kind of like bicycling around. It's really interesting the way it rides. Motorcycles have come a long ways, but that's where they started.
Harley-Davidson celebrates 120 years this year, meaning this bike at 107 years old is almost as old as the company itself. Dave told me it's rare to even see a bike like this in today's world, and getting to work on one is just a privilege. Working for you live in Central Topeka, I'm Caroline Soro, 27 News.